All right, so this video is all about fasting and does drinking black coffee disrupt your fast or does it stop your fast? Now, I've been getting this question asked, frequently over the last couple years, and I've seen some people comment with complete conviction that having a sip or a cup of black coffee is not fasting. Now, this idea originated from Rhonda Patrick, who is very into the research on fasting, and she's been on the Joe Rogan podcast quite a few times. And, one of the times she was on, she was pretty forthcoming about how black coffee is metabolized by the stomach and the liver. And so it can affect the fast. It can, turn off some of the fasting switches, so to speak. Now, I disagree. And I kind of think she disagrees too, because in many other videos, she's pretty much stated that most of the research done on time-restricted feeding, okay, and that's where, let's say you have an eating window of 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., or you just simply fast 4 or 5 hours into the day. Most of the research done, you're allowed to drink coffee, and most of the participants do drink coffee, and they see all the health benefits, the improvements in insulin sensitivity, the improvements in blood work, so on and so forth. And really, what's very, very interesting is that, coffee itself is an elixir. Coffee has a huge amount of benefits, and a lot of the benefits are actually quite similar to fasting, which is really, really interesting. So when you fast, you're improving fat mobilization, you're triggering your body to tap into fat cells for energy, and coffee also helps improve fat mobilization. Fasting over time improves insulin sensitivity. So does black coffee. Fasting has neuroprotective effects. So does black coffee. Fasting helps with type 2 diabetes. So does coffee. It almost seems to me like fasting actually kind of helps enhance the fast. Black coffee rather helps enhance the fast. Furthermore, black coffee helps blunt your appetite, right? So when you drink black coffee, it actually makes fasting a heck of a lot easier. Black coffee boosts energy, improves workout performance, specifically, caffeine. So I actually find that the best approach to doing fasting, to reaping really most of the benefits, and there's some research showing that drinking black coffee actually improves autophagy, which is cellular repair. It's one of the key reasons to fast if you're doing it from a health standpoint or longevity standpoint. So it seems to me that utilizing black coffee is actually totally okay. Now, if we're talking about improving your physique, optimizing your physique, this is just a complete moot point because it's just really about making the calorie deficit easier. It's about, being able to stick to your diet, et cetera, et cetera. But even on the whole picture, the benefits of coffee are well illustrated. Coffee drinkers outlive non-coffee drinkers. The benefits of fasting are well illustrated. And I believe these two go together really, really well. And, there hasn't been a study that has specifically compared fasting with coffee or without coffee. I would love to see that. Rhonda Patrick herself has acknowledged there hasn't been that study either. I'm sure she would love to see it. And I think that the benefits would be very similar. And if nothing else, you might even see better results with coffee because of all the benefits of drinking black coffee. Some research showed women that drank that did fasting and they were drinking black coffee, they had a reduced risk of breast cancer. And actually, coffee drinkers, women that drink black coffee actually do have a reduced risk of breast cancer. So you put all the pieces together, and fasting and coffee have these interesting similarities. Now my favorite protocol is actually to delay the coffee. Delay the black coffee. So when you wake up and you're doing your fast, let's say you wake up at 7 in the morning. Let's say you're an early riser. You're up at 7. Okay, don't drink the black coffee right at 7. The reason being is cortisol peaks first thing in the morning. And so you want to let the cortisol levels naturally come down a little bit before you introduce coffee. And this is something that I've just tested anecdotally. And what I noticed was I have better energy. My energy is more consistent, and I actually have better appetite suppression. So if I drink coffee right away, I end up needing more coffee, and I end up having a harder time, managing my hunger. But if I wait an hour, drink sparkling water, and then introduce coffee, or even an hour and a half or 2 hours, the fast is so much easier. So that's really what I recommend. And then as you get through the first few hours of the fast, then I believe you can be a little bit less strict. If you want to add a little cream to your coffee or keep it under 40 calories, that's totally fine. For me, as I get into the fast, then I'll hit my Keno-Octane before my workout, which is a pre-workout that has 6,000 milligrams of L-citrulline, which technically has, the supplement companies, they never label the calories from a single amino acid. It's just listed as 0. That's legally how it's done. But technically it's about 24 calories. So you're at 24 calories, but you're under 40. So like my general rule of thumb is that, fast with just black coffee, for the first few hours, and then if you want to introduce like up to 40 calories a bit later, even if you want to use amino acids for training, that's fine. But ideally you do that first 3-4 hours with simply just, 0 calorie. But again, that's my thoughts on this. I would love to hear your thoughts. And, really just to kind of summarize, or just to finish this point off, I've been doing fasting for 10 years. I was, really one of the first people to really push intermittent fasting on YouTube, if not the very first, at least to any meaningful degree. And I've been doing this for 10 years and I haven't stopped. I'm still fasting every day. And one of the reasons I've been doing it for so long is I make it a lifestyle. I make it easy. I don't nitpick every detail. No, I don't worry about, oh my God, is a piece of gum gonna break my fast? And it seems like a lot of the pushback about people trying to be so rigid, so extreme, is from people that really have only fasted a few times in their life. They haven't done it consistently. They haven't utilized a fasting setup while transforming their body, while getting into crazy shape. That's what I'm doing with people on my programs. We're utilizing fasting as a tool to, inside of the whole pie, to help transform you. We're doing the fast to make it easier to hit your calories, make sure you get enough protein, just simplify everything. So once you start crushing your calories and protein, your body transforms. We're doing it with the training and we're using it as a whole tool to transform. Most of these people that are so strict about it, they don't really fast. They don't do it consistently. And that's because they're so strict about it. If you relax, it's easier. And so my approach is just fast for the first 4 to 6 hours of the day, wait an hour, have a black coffee. You can have another coffee again, or if you want to do Keno-Octane or a pre-workout that's 0 calorie, essentially 0 calorie, then go for it. And that's that. And again, try, at the end of the day, all this advice is for you. Put it to the test, see what works better for you. Do you get best results with black coffee or without it? And I would argue that most people would have a much easier time and have more energy with black coffee. And the two go together like freaking cookies and milk, except you get leaner. Just to kind of like give you a little bit more context, like one of the reasons I fell in love with fasting when I was 19 was actually I had a lot of acne. I had a lot of acne when I was 19 and really nothing really worked. And I just did fasting for different reasons. But what I noticed was that when I started fasting, my skin cleared up. And then when I started eating breakfast again, over time, I'd get worse acne, I'd get breakouts. And then I kept seeing it 3 or 4 times. Every time I started fasting again, my skin cleared up and I made the connection. And that can be due to longer levels of reduced insulin helping, promote less acne. It can also be from a reduction in IGF-1, etc. There's different reasons or mechanisms why that might be, but I didn't really care. I was just like, fuck yeah, my skin is finally clear. And I tried everything. I tried all these different cleansing facials, products, whatever, but fasting cleared it up. And so the point there is that I drank black coffee during the fast and I got all the benefits of fasting as far as my skin clearing up, which is pretty cool. So those are my thoughts. And again, I'm pretty sure Rhonda Patrick kind of agrees. Most of the studies done on time-restricted feeding, people are drinking coffee and it shows benefits. And really, there's predominantly just 2 states, right? You're either fed, okay, or you're fasted. You're either fed, you've consumed calories within the last several hours, and your body is burning those calories for energy, right? Or your body has no food energy left and it's forced to tap into body fat. Maybe initially it might be glycogen, but eventually, or liver glycogen, but eventually it's body fat. And so you only have those 2 states. Now, if you drink a cup of coffee, you really think you're going into the fed state and your body just magically has this energy and now you're in the fed state? No, you're in the fasted state. You're forced to mobilize body fat. Black coffee only enhances that. It only makes it easier to do that. And you're fasting.